This is a new story of Reddit. Hear the story begin. The recording studio is silent except for the gentle hum of equipment. Maya Torres, 28, sits behind a massive mixing console, her fingers dancing across faders and knobs with the precision of a surgeon. Golden records line the walls, her name etched in small print at the bottom of each one. Maya. They say blood is thicker than water. But what they don't tell you is that sometimes blood can poison everything it touches. She removes her headphones, the weight of exhaustion heavy in her dark eyes. Her phone buzzes, another missed call from David brother. She declines it without hesitation. Maya. Growing up in Nashville, music was our religion. Dad played guitar on the front porch every Sunday. Mom sang lullabies that could make angels weep. And my older brother David. David was the golden boy who was supposed to carry on the family legacy. Flashback to his family home 15 years ago. Young Emmy, 13, sits cross-legged on a worn carpet, surrounded by sheet music and a battered acoustic guitar. Across the room, David Torres, 16, practices violin with their father, Carlos Torres, a weathered man with kind eyes. Carlos. That's it, Mijo. Feel the music, don't just play it. Young Maya strums a chord progression, her face lighting up with discovery. But no one notices, all eyes are on David. Maya. I learned early that being the quiet one meant being invisible. David was the prodigy, the one destined for Juilliard. I was just there. Present-day Maya's apartment. Maya stares at a framed photo of her family from years ago. Everyone's smiling except her. She looks like she's trying to disappear into the background. Maya. After high school, I packed everything I owned into a beat-up Honda and drove to Los Angeles. I had $47, a guitar, and a dream that felt too big for my small-town life. It was Maya's journey. Maya sleeping in her car outside recording studios. Working night shifts at a diner, exhausted but determined. Teaching herself sound engineering from library books. Getting her first job as a studio assistant, coffee in hand. Gradually moving up, assistant engineer, then producer. Maya. It took 7 years to build something they said was impossible. Phoenix Sound became the most sought-after independent studio in LA. Artists flew in from around the world just to work with me. Phoenix Sound Studio, Day. Maya works with Zara Knight, a rising pop star perfecting a track. The creative chemistry between them is electric. Maya, you're a magician. This sounds like nothing I've ever heard before. Maya. That's because it's your sound, not someone else's. Maya's assistant, Jamie, bursts in with barely contained excitement. Jamie. Maya, you need to see this. The Grammy nominations just dropped. Maya looks at the screen. Her name appears under Producer of the Year and Album of the Year for Zara's record. Maya whispered, "Oh my God." Maya. For the first time in my life I felt seen. Not as David's little sister or Carlos's other daughter, but as Maya Torres, Grammy-nominated producer. Maya's apartment, that evening. Maya sits alone with a glass of wine, staring at the nomination announcement on her laptop. Her phone shows 23 missed calls from family members. Maya. I thought about calling them. For years I'd sent holiday cards with no response. Birthday calls that went straight to voicemail. I'd flown home twice. Once when Dad had his heart attack, once for cousin Maria's wedding. Both times I felt like a stranger in my own family. She scrolls through old text messages. All from her, none replied to. Maya. But maybe this would be different. Maybe now they'd want to celebrate with me. She dials her parents' house. The phone rings 3 times before her mother, Elena Torres, answers. Elena. Maya. Mija, is that really you? Maya. Hi, Mom. I have some news I wanted to share. Elena. Oh, we know about your little Grammy thing. We saw it on the internet. The word little cuts deep, but Maya pushes forward. Maya. I was hoping maybe you and Dad could come to the ceremony. It's in February and I could fly you out. Elena. February? Oh, Mija. That's when David's debut with the Nashville Symphony is happening. The whole family will be there. You understand? Maya's face falls. In the background, she hears her father's voice. Carlos says, "Is that Maya? Tell her congratulations, but we can't miss David's big night." Maya. Mom, this is the Grammys. Elena. We're very proud, Mija. But David's worked his whole life for this moment. Surely you understand family comes first. The line goes quiet except for the sound of Maya's breaking heart. Maya. Right. Family first. Elena. We'll watch on TV. You look for us in the audience, okay? Maya hangs up without another word. Maya. That night, I realized something that should have been obvious years ago. To them, I wasn't family, I was just the daughter who left. Phoenix Sound Studio, next day. Maya throws herself into work, but she's distracted. Jamie notices her red-rimmed eyes. Jamie. You okay, boss? Maya. Just tired. Alex Romano, 32, a charismatic A&R executive with an easy smile, walks into the studio. Alex. Maya Torres, the woman of the hour. Congratulations on the nominations. Maya. Thanks. What brings you by? Alex. I want to talk to you about something big. How would you feel about executive producing a documentary about your journey? From Nashville to Grammy nominations. The Maya Torres story. Maya. I don't know. I'm pretty private. Alex. That's exactly why it would be compelling. The mysterious producer who's shaped the sound of a generation. Plus, think about the young women who need to see that this is possible. Maya considers this a spark of something new in her eyes. Maya. What would it involve? Alex. Full access. Your studio, your process, and yeah, your family story. The roots that made you who you are. Maya. Maybe it was spite. Maybe it was hope. But something about the idea of telling my own story on my own terms felt like exactly what I needed. Maya. Let's do it. Documentary production. Film crews capturing Maya at work. Interviews with famous artists praising her genius. Maya talking candidly about her journey from Nashville to LA. Behind-the-scenes footage of her creative process. Maya, documentary interview. Maya sits in her studio, comfortable and confident. Maya. People always ask how I developed my sound. The truth is, I learned to listen to the silence between the notes. Growing up, I was always in the spaces where no one was paying attention. That taught me to hear things others missed. Interviewer, OS. Tell us about your family. Are they supportive of your career? Maya's composure falters slightly. Maya. My family. They're musicians too. They have their own path. Interviewer, OS. Will they be at the Grammys? Maya. Long pause. Everyone has their priorities. Maya. I thought the documentary would be about my work. I didn't realize it would become about everything I'd lost along the way. Grammy Awards ceremony February. Maya walks the red carpet alone, stunning in a black designer gown. Reporters swarm her. Reporter. Maya, this is your first Grammy nomination. How are you feeling? Maya. Grateful. Music has given me everything. Reporter. Is your family here tonight? Maya's smile doesn't waver, but something flickers in her eyes. Maya. My chosen family is here. That's what matters. Inside the ceremony. Maya sits with Zara and Alex. When Album of the Year is announced, Maya's heart stops. Presenter. And the Grammy goes to Metamorphosis by Zara Knight, produced by Maya Torres. The room erupts. Maya can barely breathe as she makes her way to the stage. Maya's Grammy acceptance speech. Maya stands at the podium, golden gramophone in her hands. Maya. This award belongs to every artist who trusted me with their story. To Zara, who dared to be vulnerable. To my team at Phoenix Sound, who make magic happen every day. She pauses, looking directly into the camera. Maya. And to every young person who feels invisible, your voice matters. Your story matters. Don't wait for permission to be heard. Backstage. Maya clutches her Grammy, surrounded by congratulatory hugs. Her phone buzzes with notifications, but she doesn't look. Alex. Maya, you killed it up there. How do you feel? Maya. Like I'm finally awake. Maya's apartment later that night. Maya sits on her couch, Grammy on the coffee table. She finally checks her phone. Hundreds of messages from industry colleagues, friends, even strangers. But nothing from Nashville. Maya. I waited 3 days for them to call. 3 days of watching my Grammy acceptance speech go viral, of reading articles about my overnight success that took 15 years to build. Phoenix Sound Studio, 3 days later. Maya is mixing a track when Jamie rushes in. Jamie. Maya, you need to see this. It's everywhere. Jamie shows her a tablet. The headline reads, Grammy winner's family breaks silence. We always knew Maya was special. Maya. What? She scrolls through the article. Photos of her family, quotes from her parents and David about how proud they've always been, how they knew she'd make it big. Lena quoted. Maya was always so talented. We couldn't be prouder of our Grammy-winning daughter. David quoted. My little sister is a superstar. I always knew she'd conquer the world. Maya's hands shake as she reads. Maya. Suddenly I was their daughter again. Their sister. The family that couldn't spare a phone call after my nomination was now giving interviews about how they'd always believed in me. Her phone starts ringing. David, brother, appears on the screen. Maya. Answering. What do you want, David? David. Maya. Jesus, I've been trying to reach you for days. Congratulations on the Grammy. We're so proud. Maya. Stop. David. What? Maya. Just stop. I read the interview. Very touching. David. Look, I know we haven't talked much lately, but... Maya. Lately? David, you haven't returned my calls in 3 years. Mom and Dad couldn't come to the ceremony because of your symphony debut. David. That was... We didn't realize how big this was for you. Maya. How big this was for me. It's the fucking Grammys, David. David. Hey, there's no need to get hostile. We're family. Maya. Well, you're people who share my DNA. Family shows up. Family calls back. Family doesn't wait for Grammy wins to remember you exist. David. Maya, come on. We want to be part of your life now. Maya. Well, now that it benefits you? Now that you can tell people your sister is Maya Torres? David. That's not fair. Maya. Fair. David, I sent you a demo of my work 5 years ago. You never even acknowledged it. I invited you to my studio opening. You didn't show. I called when Dad was in the hospital and you told me not to bother coming because you had it handled. Silence on the line. Maya. But suddenly after one Grammy win you're proud to be my brother? David. We made mistakes, okay? But we can fix this. We're planning a family reunion. Maya. Stop. Please, stop. Maya hangs up. Her phone immediately starts ringing again. He turns it off. Maya. That's when I realized the documentary wasn't just about my success. It was about something bigger. Something they needed to see. Documentary editing room weeks later. Maya works with Sarah, the documentary editor, fine-tuning the final cut. The Grammy moment is powerful, but Maya, are you sure about including the family stuff? It's pretty raw. Maya. That's the point. People need to see the real story. On screen, footage plays of Maya's acceptance speech, intercut with old home videos of her being ignored while David receives praise. Maya. To Sarah. At the interview I did last week. The one about chosen family. The whole thing. Maya. Every word. Documentary footage, Maya's recent interview. Maya sits in her studio more vulnerable than before. Maya. The hardest part wasn't building a career. It was accepting that the people who were supposed to love me unconditionally had conditions I could never meet. I had to become worthy of their attention, and even then it wasn't about me, it was about what I could do for their image. He pauses, composing herself. Maya. Real family doesn't wait for your success to love you. Real family celebrates your small victories and catches you when you fall. I found that family here in LA with my team, my artists, my chosen community. Interviewer, OS. Do you regret leaving Nashville? Maya. Well, leaving Nashville saved my life. It taught me that you can't bloom in soil that was never meant for you. Phoenix Sound Studio, documentary premiere night. Maya hosts a private screening for her closest friends and colleagues. Alex sits beside her as the credits roll to thunderous applause. Alex. Maya, this is incredible. It's going to change everything. Wiping tears. You've just given voice to everyone who's ever felt invisible in their own family. Maya. The documentary aired 3 weeks later. Within hours it was trending worldwide. #ChosenFamily became a movement. Millions of people shared their own stories of finding belonging outside blood relations. Maya's apartment morning after premiere. Maya wakes to her phone buzzing incessantly. News alerts, interview requests, and thousands of messages from people thanking her for her honesty. But among them a text from her mother. Maya, we need to talk. This documentary, it's not fair to us. Maya stares at the message, then deletes it without responding. Phoenix Sound Studio later. Maya is working when Jamie enters with a concerned expression. Jamie. Maya, there's someone here to see you. Says he's your brother. Maya looks up to see David standing in the doorway, looking uncomfortable and out of place. Maya. What are you doing here? David. We need to talk. This documentary, it's destroying our family's reputation. Maya. Your reputation? David. The symphony board is asking questions. Mom and Dad are getting hate mail. People are calling us terrible parents. Maya. And David. And you need to fix this. Do another interview, clarify things. Tell people you exaggerated. Maya stands slowly, her voice deadly calm. Maya. I need to fix this. David. Maya, please. We're family. Maya. No, David. We're not. Family doesn't abandon each other for 15 years and then demand loyalty when it's convenient. David. That's not. Maya. I have security footage of you walking past this studio 6 months ago. You were 2 blocks away and couldn't be bothered to stop by. But now, when your precious reputation is at stake, here you are. David's face flushes. David. You've changed. Success has made you cold. Maya. Well, success has made me honest. I spent 30 years trying to earn love from people who weren't capable of giving it. I'm done. David. So that's it? You're just going to cut us off? Maya. David, I've been cut off for years. I'm just finally accepting it. She walks to the door and opens it. Maya. Jamie will show you out. Don't come back. As David leaves, Maya feels a weight lifting from her shoulders. Maya. That night I realized something profound. The family that raised me had taught me the most valuable lesson of all: how to recognize real love when I found it. Phoenix Sound Studio, 1 year later. The studio is bustling with activity. Maya works with a young artist, Tommy, 19, who reminds her of herself at that age. Tommy. Maya, my parents think music is a waste of time. They want me to quit and go to college. Maya. What do you want? Tommy. I want to make music that matters. Like you do. Maya. Then do it. The people who are meant to support your dreams will find you. And the ones who don't, their opinions don't define your worth. Maya's assistant brings in mail. Among the letters is a Grammy invitation. She's nominated again. Maya. The second Grammy nomination felt different. Not because the recognition meant less, but because I finally understood that my worth wasn't measured by awards or family approval. It was measured by the lives I touched, the artists I believed in, the chosen family I'd built note by note. Grammy Awards ceremony, second time. Maya walks the red carpet, but she's not alone. Zara, Alex, Jamie, and her entire Phoenix Sound family surround her. Reporter. Maya, you're nominated again. How does it feel? Maya. Feels like coming home. These people, this is my family. They've been here through every late night, every creative breakthrough, every moment that mattered. Inside the ceremony. When Maya wins Producer of the Year, her chosen family erupts in celebration. My second Grammy speech. Maya stands at the podium more confident than ever. Maya. Last year I talked about finding your voice. Tonight I want to talk about finding your people. Family isn't about blood. It's about who shows up. It's about who celebrates your victories and holds you through your defeats. She looks directly at her team in the audience. Maya. To my Phoenix family, thank you for seeing me before the world did. To every artist who's trusted me with their story, this is for you. And to everyone watching who feels like they don't belong, your tribe is out there. Keep looking. Backstage. Maya is surrounded by press and well-wishers. Her phone buzzes, a call from Mom. She declines it without hesitation. Alex. No regrets? Maya. None. The people who matter are right here. Phoenix Sound Studio, late that night. Maya sits alone in her studio, 2 Grammys on the console. She looks at a photo on her desk, not of her biological family, but of her Phoenix family at last year's Christmas party. Maya. They say you can't choose your family. But I learned that's not true. I chose Alex, who believed in my vision. I chose Zara, who trusted me with her vulnerability. I chose Jamie, who shows up every day with loyalty and laughter. I chose Tommy and dozens of other artists who let me be part of their dreams. She picks up her guitar and plays a gentle melody. Maya. The girl who learned to listen in the silence grew up to fill the world with sound. Not for the people who ignored her, but for the ones who truly heard her. A knock on the studio door interrupts her thoughts. Jamie enters with a cup of coffee and a warm smile. Jamie. Thought you might need this. Long day. Maya. Jamie, can I ask you something? Jamie. Anything. Maya. Do you think I'm a good person? Even after everything with my family? Jamie. Maya, you gave me a chance when no one else would. You've launched careers, changed lives, built something beautiful from nothing. Your biological family's inability to see that says nothing about you and everything about them. Maya nods, feeling a deep sense of peace. Jamie. Besides, look around. This studio, these artists, this community. This is your legacy. This is your family. Maya. In the end, the greatest revenge wasn't success or recognition or Grammy wins. It was learning to love myself enough to choose people who loved me back. It was building something beautiful with my own hands and filling it with voices that deserved to be heard. Maya looks out the studio window at the Los Angeles skyline, the city lights twinkling like stars. Maya. They say blood is thicker than water. But what they don't tell you is that the water you choose to drink can save your life, while the blood you're born with can sometimes poison everything it touches. She returns to her mixing console, adjusting levels on a new track. The music swells, complex, layered, perfect. Maya. I learned to listen to the silence between the notes. And in that silence I found my voice, my family, and my home. The camera slowly pulls back as Maya works, surrounded by the golden records and photos of her chosen family, the Grammy Awards catching the studio lights like beacons. The end.